Rain hammered against the bus windows as Maya pressed her phone to her ear, the city lights sliding across her reflection like bruises. Her voice trembled, not from fear, but from shock. "Dad, I'm fine. Just stay inside tonight, okay?" She ended the call quickly. She didn't want to explain why her hands were shaking or why her chest felt like it was made of broken glass. Not yet. The bus hissed to a stop. She stepped down, hood up, shoes soaked, and walked toward her apartment. Her breathing steadied until something moved behind her. A silhouette. Tall. Familiar. Maya. The voice froze her spine. Adrian. He stepped out of the shadow under the street lamp, rain streaking down his face like tears he was incapable of shedding. "You left dinner so suddenly, I was worried." The word worried tasted wrong coming from him, like a lie wrapped in velvet. Maya forced her voice steady. "I told you, I didn't feel well." "That's what you said, but you forgot your wallet." He held it up between two fingers. Her wallet, the one she never left behind. Her throat dried. "Give it to me." He didn't move. "Why did you run off like that, baby?" Baby. He used that word when he wanted control. Maya's fingers curled. She stepped back. "I'm going inside." His smile cracked, not visibly, but in the tiny twitch at the corner of his mouth, something she had learned meant danger. "Maya, sweetheart, look at me." She shook her head and moved faster. "Good night, Adrian." He exhaled sharply. The mask slipped for a moment. She saw the irritation flash like a blade, but then he smiled again, gentle and patient. "As you wish. Rest well. Text me when you wake up." She didn't answer. She went inside, locked the door, and leaned against it, her heart slamming. She slid down to the floor, her breath turning ragged. The photo, the word promising, the way Adrian's eyes had shifted when she stepped back. She didn't know what scared her more, what she saw in the wallet, or the fact that Adrian somehow knew she saw something. Her phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. "Do not tell him you saw the picture. He'll know, and he'll come back. L." Her pulse thundered. Someone was watching her, warning her, policing her every move. "Okay," she whispered, breath shaking. "Okay, calm down. Think." She locked all the windows, closed the curtains, sat on the couch with her knees pulled up. The apartment felt too quiet, too exposed, too fragile. Her phone buzzed again, another unknown number. "If you want to live, check the back of the photo." Maya sat frozen. Her heart climbed into her throat. She didn't want to, but she had to. She pulled the picture from her wallet again, unfolding it with trembling fingers. The woman in the photo looked mid-20s, smiling. Nothing frightening at first glance. But on the back, her lungs collapsed. "Ask him where Elise is." Elise? She recognized that name. Janelle had whispered it once at work. He used to talk to a girl named Elise before Maya. Then suddenly he stopped. Stopped. Or finished. The room spun. A faint knock broke the silence. She jerked upright, breath slicing out of her lungs. Another knock, slow, measured, intentional. Not Adrian's rhythm. It was too soft. "Maya?" A woman's voice. The breath she'd been holding rushed out in relief. It was Janelle. Maya opened the door just enough. "Oh my God, Janelle, you scared me." Janelle stepped into the light, and Maya froze. Her makeup was smeared, her eyes swollen and red. "Maya," she whispered, "you need to break up with him." Maya blinked, stunned. "What are you talking about?" Janelle's voice cracked. "I'm telling you this because I care. He used me before you, and he gets angry when women try to leave." Maya's chest tightened. "Why didn't you tell me earlier?" Janelle's eyes darted away. I didn't want to seem jealous." The silence thickened. Janelle swallowed hard. "But I saw what happened at the restaurant tonight. The way you ran. I know that look. The look of realizing the man holding your hand might ruin your life. Maya, she whispered, please, don't be alone with him again. Maya's breath trembled. I won't. Janelle hugged her tightly, but Maya didn't see the flicker of something cold behind her coworker's eyes, a mix of jealousy and guilt. Thank you for warning me, Maya whispered. If you need a place to sleep tonight, come to mine, seriously. Maya nodded, but she didn't know something else. Janelle wasn't the one who sent the warning message.
Someone else was watching the building, watching them, watching her. If you're still watching, hit the like button so the story reaches more people, and drop a comment so the next chapter unlocks. Maya didn't sleep. Every time she closed her eyes, the image of the woman in the photo floated behind her eyelids, that word promising burning like a brand. Her mind bounced between Janelle's warning, the unknown messages, and Adrian's two calm eyes in the rain. At some point, the night stopped feeling dangerous and just became heavy. She sat on the edge of a bed, legs tucked under her, watching the thin gray of dawn slide through the curtains. Her bones felt hollow. Not scared, just tired. Tired of second-guessing herself. Tired of trying to decide if she was being paranoid or finally seeing what was real. Her alarm buzzed at 7:30. She turned it off and stared at the screen. Therapy. She had a session with Dr. Effie at 9. For the first time since she started going, Maya didn't wonder if she should cancel. She picked up a phone and texted, I really need to talk today. The reply came fast, almost as if it had been waiting. Come, I'll move other things around. Maya took a long shower, letting the hot water pound the tension out of her shoulders. For a few minutes, as steam filled the small bathroom, she let herself exist in a quieter emotion. Numbness. No questions, no images, just the sound of water and her own breathing. She dressed simply, jeans, oversized sweater, hair in a low bun. She looked at herself in the mirror, searching for the woman she'd been 6 months ago. That Maya laughed loudly, trusted easily, planned a future where we meant something safe. This Maya checked the locks twice and wondered which of her memories had been real. On her way out, she hesitated, then slid the photo of the unknown woman into the inside pocket of her bag. If she was finally going to say things out loud, she needed proof that she wasn't losing her mind. Downstairs, the city was awake. Cars honked, vendors shouted, somewhere a baby cried. The world moved forward as if her life wasn't quietly rearranging itself around a single man's shadow. As she walked toward the main road to catch a ride, her brain flickered with a quiet, bitter thought. If you're watching this and you've ever ignored a red flag because you didn't want to start over, just breathe with it right now. Because this is where starting over begins, with the walk you don't want to make to a truth you're scared to hear. Maya reached the clinic building, signed her name at the small front desk, and sat in the waiting room chair. Her leg bounced. The walls were soft cream, the air faintly scented with something floral. It should have felt calm. It didn't. When the door opened and Dr. Effie stepped out, Maya almost burst into tears. Maya, Dr. Effie said warmly, come in. She led her into the familiar office, bookshelves, warm lamp, a large plant by the window, 2 armchairs facing each other. The space had always felt safe, like a pause button from the rest of the world. Today, it felt like a courtroom. Maya sat, hands locked together. Dr. Effie took the opposite seat, notebook on her lap, eyes gentle but focused. You texted early, she said. Talk to me. What happened? Maya tried to start with something small. It came out wrong. Her throat tightened, her eyes stung. He isn't who I thought he was, she whispered. Adrian? Maya nodded. She told her about the restaurant, the forgotten wallet, the photo, the word on it, the unknown messages, Janelle appearing at her door, crying, warning her. The way Adrian's face had changed for just a second when she pulled away. She didn't show the tears at first. They came later, mid-sentence, catching her off guard. Confusion spilled into shame, then into a fragile kind of desperation. I don't know if I'm overreacting. Maybe it's just my trauma. Maybe he's just weird. Maybe the picture is something from work. I don't know. I don't know. She dug in her bag and pulled out the photo, hand shaking. But this was in my wallet. I didn't put it there. And someone texted me to check the back and ask about Elise. She handed it over. Dr. F.A. slipped on her reading glasses and studied the photo in silence. Her face didn't flinch, but something in her posture changed, a tiny tightening of her shoulders. "Have you ever seen this woman before?" she asked. "No." "And you're sure you didn't put this in your wallet?" "I'm not crazy," Maya said, voice cracking. "I don't put random women inside my own things and then freak myself out." "I didn't say you were crazy." Dr. F.A. met her eyes. "I believe you." Those 3 words hit Maya harder than she expected. She swallowed. "Okay," she whispered. "Maya," Dr. F.A. said, leaning forward, "you told me something a few months ago, that you left your ex-fiancé because you saw a flash of violence in him nobody else saw, that you trusted that instinct, even though everyone told you were dramatic." Maya nodded, a lump in her throat. "What if your instinct is speaking again?" the therapist asked softly. "What if this isn't about overreacting, but about recognizing a pattern?" A slow, shaky breath left Maya's chest. For the first time since last night, her emotions shifted, away from confusion and towards something sharper. Recognition. "What do I do?" she whispered. "You create distance, emotional and physical. You stop seeing him alone, you document everything, messages, strange behaviors, anything that makes your stomach twist, and you tell someone you trust in real life, not just me." "I tried. I told my coworker. She warned me, actually." "That's good. You need allies." Maya hesitated, then lowered her voice. "What if it's worse than just a toxic relationship? The messages, the way they said, 'if you want to live,' it sounds like a thriller, not real life." "Thrillers are written by people who've seen real life," Dr. F.A. replied quietly. "If there is any chance that this man is dangerous, beyond manipulation, you do not handle it alone." She paused. "Can I ask you something difficult?" Maya nodded. "If I told you that another woman once sat in that chair, describing a man who sounds very similar, what would you feel?" The room shrank. "Is this about him? About Adrian?" "I can't tell you names," Dr. F.A. said, voice thick with professional restraint and human concern. "But I can tell you this. Predators often repeat patterns. They test what they can get away with." Silence pooled between them, heavy and electric. Maya looked at the photo again, at the happy woman who didn't know a stranger was staring at her years later, dissecting her life. "Maybe I'm not special. Maybe I'm just the next one on a list." Dr. F.A.'s eyes softened. "You are special, because you're noticing things early. That might be what saves your life." Would you stay or walk away? Let me know in the comments what you think you'd do in Maya's place. And if you're still here, hit subscribe. These stories are not just entertainment, they're warnings wrapped in fiction. When the session ended, Maya stepped back into the hallway with a different emotion humming under her skin. Not fear, not yet. Resolution. She texted her dad to check in. Then she texted Janelle. "Can we talk later?" Janelle replied almost instantly. "Sure, lunch?" On the ride back to her part of town, Maya opened her messages and scrolled back to the unknown number. "You there?" The reply came after a minute. "Yes." "Who are you?" 3 dots blinked, disappeared, reappeared. "Someone he hurt." Her lungs tightened. Her eye thumb hovered over the keyboard. "What's your name?"
Call me L. What does he want? Control.
Maya stared at that one word. It was too sharp, too accurate. She typed again. Why did you tell me to ask about Elise? Because she didn't get the warning you did. Maya's fingers went cold. Is she okay? The typing bubble flashed, then stopped, then came back. No. Her heart thudded. She hesitated. If you know him, why don't you go to the police? The reply took longer. I tried. And? They believed his version, not mine. Maya felt something else now, not just resolve, but anger, low and hot in her stomach. The idea of him walking around, charming waiters, holding her hand, while someone out there sat with wounds nobody believed. What did he do to you? She typed. The answer came in 2 slow messages. He made me love him. Then he made me disappear. A chill slid down her back. Her stop approached. She shoved the phone into her pocket, got off and walked home, all her senses slightly sharpened now. Every passing car felt like it might slow down near her. Every reflection in a shop window made her glance twice. Upstairs, she unlocked her door and stepped in, automatically checking the windows, the bedroom, the closet. Everything seemed untouched. Until she reached the kitchen counter. Her wallet was there. She froze. She had taken it out at home last night, then left with just her bag for therapy. She was sure. She hadn't opened the wallet since removing the photo, hadn't moved it, hadn't touched it. Now it lay neatly in the center of the counter, open, and on top of it, placed with quiet precision, was a single new object. A fresh photo. Her throat tightened as she approached. Her name felt like it had been stolen from her tongue. The photo wasn't of a random woman this time. It was of her. Candid, taken from a distance. She was locking her apartment door, probably last week, her hair loose, bag on her shoulder. She hadn't known anyone was watching. On the corner of the photo, in the same handwriting as before, one word was written. Studying. Maya's vision blurred. She grabbed the edge of the counter to steady herself. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. She didn't have to look to know who it was. Adrian. Her thumb hovered over the reply field. Behind the fear rising in her chest, another feeling pushed through, a cold, furious clarity. He was inside her apartment at some point. He could walk through her life like a ghost, and unless she did something smart, she'd end up like Elle, screaming into a world that believed him instead. The narrator's voice slips in again, a low warning. If you've ever had a bad feeling about someone, don't ignore it like a movie scene. This is your sign, and if you want to see how far Adrian will go and how far Maya will go to stop him, make sure you're subscribed. You don't want to miss what comes next. Maya didn't respond to his text.
To Janelle.
Instead, she opened a new
Lunch
chat.
is good,
Not to him,
she typed.
not to Elle.
I need to ask you something about Elise. Then, heart pounding, she took a picture of the new photo on her counter and saved it in 3 different places, just in case. Somewhere, not too far away, a man looked at his phone, saw that his message remained unread, and smiled with a patient, predatory calm. The game had begun. If you're still watching up to this point, tell me in the comments, do you think Maya should play along or cut him off completely? And don't forget to like this video so more people can see this kind of hidden truth before it's too late. By the time Maya reached the cafe for lunch with Janelle, the city felt different, louder, brighter, too exposed. She scanned every face twice, every reflection in a passing car window, every shadow that lingered half a second too long. Janelle was already seated by the window, stirring a drink she hadn't touched. When she saw Maya, she forced a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "You look tired," she said. Maya slid into the seat. "Couldn't sleep." "What happened?" Maya didn't answer with words. She took out her phone and placed it on the table, screen up. The photo of herself, the one labeled studying, stared back at them. Janelle inhaled sharply. "Oh my God," Maya whispered. "He was in my apartment, and I don't know when." Janelle covered her mouth. "Maya, that's... A warning, a message, a claim." Her voice shook, but her eyes were steady. "I asked you to meet because I need to know something. You warned me last night, and I appreciate that, but you also hid things about Elise." Janelle's hands trembled. She looked down at her drink, avoiding eye contact.
She went missing. Months ago. She told me she didn't feel safe around him, but she didn't want to look dramatic, so she stayed. Then one day she stopped coming to work, stopped answering texts. I thought maybe she moved. I didn't want to believe, she swallowed, that he did something. Why didn't you tell me sooner? Janelle met her gaze, and this time there was no jealousy, no resentment, only guilt. Because I wanted to believe he chose you because he changed, because I wasn't enough, but maybe you were. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Maya exhaled shakily. She wasn't angry. She was tired of carrying anger. Janelle, she said quietly, I need your help. Janelle nodded instantly. Anything. I need you to distract him. Janelle blinked. What? Maya leaned closer, voice low. I'm going to end this today, but I can't do it if he's watching me. I need him fixated on something else or someone else. Janelle's eyes filled with fear. Maya, if he suspects anything, that's why you're the only person who can do it. He already thinks he can manipulate you. Use that. Text him. Tell him we argued. Tell him I'm spiraling. Anything to pull his attention. Janelle's breath quivered. She hesitated, then nodded. For Elise, she whispered. For all of us, Maya said. An hour later, Maya stood at the front desk of the district police station. The fluorescent lights hummed overhead. A uniformed officer looked up at her without interest. Hi, Maya said, steadying her voice. I need to file a report. It's urgent. What kind of report? She placed the two photos on the desk, the woman labeled promising and the photo of herself labeled steadying. The officer blinked, frowned, sat up straighter. Where did you get these? From a man I've been dating, and I think he's planning something or has already done something. Do you have proof? I do now. She opened her phone and showed the messages from Elle, the warnings, the statements about not being believed, the story about trying to disappear. The officer's expression changed again.
Give me a moment. He disappeared into the back. Maya's heart hammered once, twice. A minute later, a woman in plain clothes and a badge clipped to her belt stepped out. Miss Kuro? She said. Yes. I'm Detective Rena Okofa. Come with me. Maya followed her into an interview room. When the door shut, Detective Rena sat across from her, eyes sharp and empathetic all at once. You did the right thing coming here, the detective said. We've had a missing persons case on an Elise Hammond for months, and reports of a man matching your description, charming, clean-cut, never uses real IDs. She exhaled. We just never had enough to tie anything to him. Now you do, Maya said. Detective Rena nodded. We'll need you to stay here a while in case he tries to reach you. He will, Maya said. Janelle is texting him right now to keep him busy. The detective raised an eyebrow. Brave friend. Complicated friend, Maya corrected, but she's trying. The detective stood. Let me run these photos through our system. If he has a pattern, it'll show. Before she left the room, she paused, looking back. You're not the first woman he's hurt, but you may be the first who gets him caught. The door closed. For a moment, Maya sat alone, hands clasped, breathing carefully. She didn't feel fear. She didn't feel anger. She didn't feel confusion. She felt an emotion she hadn't tasted in months. Control. Her phone buzzed. A message from Adrian. Where are you? Another. You're ignoring me. Another. I'm coming to your place. Before Maya could panic, a second message appeared, from Janelle. I stalled him, told him you broke down crying and ran to your dad's house. He's driving across town. You're safe, for now. Maya exhaled. Thank you, she whispered into the air. At that moment, Detective Rena returned, holding a thin manila file. She sat across from Maya. Her expression was grave. You need to see this, she said. Inside the file were photos, not graphic, but horrifying in a quiet way. Elise smiling with friends. Elise at work.
Elise sitting on a street bench, all taken from a distance, all labeled with words: entry, observe, adapt, test, break. And then, the last one, missing. Maya swallowed hard. He documented her like research. He did. And look at the last page. Maya turned it. A profile labeled Maya Puro. Status, in progress. Phase, study. Her hands shook, not from fear, but from fury. So what happens now? She asked quietly. Now, we get him. The arrest happened that evening. Maya watched from inside the station as officers surrounded Adrian's car in a quiet neighborhood several kilometers away. He stepped out, confused, charming, trying to talk his way through it. But this time, they weren't listening. They pulled him into the back of the police vehicle. He turned his head, looking around like a man who couldn't understand how his script had collapsed. And for the first time since she met him, Maya saw something real on his face: fear. 2 weeks later, Maya sat in a different cafe, one without memories of warnings or whispered confessions. She sipped tea, letting sunlight warm her face. The world didn't feel perfect, but it felt possible. "Mind if I sit?" a gentle voice asked. She looked up. It was Tayo, her neighbor, who always helped her carry groceries but never pushed her into conversation. Warm eyes, soft voice, patient energy. "Sure," Maya said softly. He sat across from her. "I heard what happened. I'm sorry you went through all that." "I'm healing," Maya said. Tayo nodded. "If you ever want company, safe company, I'm around." Maya smiled for the first time in days. "I might take you up on that." The camera of the mind pulls back, sunlight catching her face, relief settling over her like a gentle blanket. If you're still watching this, don't leave without dropping a comment for Maya. What would you have done in her place? And tap subscribe so you never miss another hidden truth story. Someone out there needs these warnings, disguised as stories. Because sometimes, survival starts with a story you didn't know you needed.